Hi everyone, Shabbat Shalom Uvorach. You know, a student of mine once asked me, Rabbi, where does it say in the Torah that I should visit sick people? Where does it say that I should invite people into my house? Hachnasat orchim. Where does it say that I should be kind or merciful? And actually, the answer is in our parasha. The pasuk says, Vehalachta bidrachav. And it says it no less than 3 times. And that means that we should walk in God's ways. In other words, we should be like Hashem. We should emulate Him. God is merciful, we should be merciful. God is compassionate, we should be compassionate. We find that God visits Avraham Avinu when he's sick. We should visit people when they are sick. That is where the mitzvah is sourced, to emulate HaKadosh Baruch Hu. You know, many times people hurt us and they don't deserve our forgiveness. But the pasuk that tells us to emulate God reminds us, you know what? We also hurt Hashem sometimes. We also make mistakes to God. We're not perfect. We do averot. And yet we are here. We're alive. God forgives us day in and day out, time and again. And our obligation, our duties toward other people is to act like Hashem. If Hashem forgives us, we must also try to forgive other people. And I want to share with you a very powerful story that happened to me. And I learned this lesson from my rabbi. You know, I used to study in a kollel in Brooklyn, Sharet Zion. And one day before kollel, I was praying at 8 o'clock. And right after prayers, I was walking out of the synagogue and I was going to the kollel to learn. And I saw a kid standing there with a sign. And the sign had some type of sob story, please help me, and my father is not feeling well, and my sister, she needs medication. And the whole story that was written out. And I was a little bit skeptical. I didn't like the sign. I didn't like the guy. I don't know. I just had negative vibes. So I respectfully wished the kid good luck. I didn't give him anything. I went to the kollel and I was studying. My chavruta, my study partner at the time, was the Rosh Kollel, the head of the yeshiva, head of the kollel. His name was Rabbi Yehuda Eliyahu. And we were studying together, and all of a sudden, an hour later, this kid walks into the kollel with the same sign, and he's collecting. Now, I don't know what he was doing collecting in a kollel, don't ask. But he was collecting from all the guys, and again, I saw the sign, and respectfully, I declined. And my rabbi saw the sign, he saw the kid, he bends over, he pulls out a 20 and he hands it over. And I remember when I saw this, I was very shocked. I said, Rabbi, that's very generous. Do you buy that? You believe that sign? My rabbi looked at me and he smiled and he says, Ariel, you think he's lying? I know he's lying. I'm like, what? He said, yeah, his father had the same sign 20 years ago. I'm like, whoa, hello? His father had the same sign, he was lying, and you gave him $20. Why didn't you expose him? Why didn't you put him in his place? And my rabbi told me one of the most valuable lessons of my life. He looked at me, he smiled, and he says, I give him even though he doesn't deserve, because I want Hashem to give me even though I don't deserve. Wow. That is vehalachta bidrachav, to emulate Hashem. So the next time we see somebody around us who needs a hand, and we may be a little bit curious or negative, and they don't deserve it, I don't know if they really need it, we should ask ourselves, what would Hashem do in this situation? What would we want Hashem to do to us in this situation? May we always be zocheh to walk in His ways and to emulate Him. Shabbat Shalom.